Hello and welcome to What Culture Wrestling. Myself, Andrew Pollard. As you can see today, I am joined by a very exceptional special guest, the two-time NXT champion, the former NXT North American champion, the current reigning defending TNA World Champion, Mr. Trick and A, the man with two brands on his back, Trick Williams. How are you, Trick?
What's going on, Andrew? Happy to be here, man. Let's talk about it.
Yeah, let's talk about it. The big thing to talk about this coming Sunday, it is TNA Slammiversary, the 20th of July, from New York's UBS Arena, where you'll be defending that belt right next year against Mike Santana and Joe Hendry. Of course, for UK fans, you can buy that on TNA Plus, the streaming service there, either as a standalone pay-per-view or as part of the annual subscription. How are your thoughts ahead of Sunday then, man? It's a big old responsibility here. The main event, a TNA pay-per-view, two very worthy challenges in Santana and our pal, our boy here at WhatCulture, Joe Hendry.
That's right, man. Like you said, main event and biggest show of the year at TNA is in New York. You know, Mike Santana's hometown is right around the corner. Joe Hendry, the guy who's taking the TNA brand to the whole next level, and then Trick Williams. I mean, the guy who's the best for the brand, the guy who made this Trick and A. You actually caught me right in between a workout right now. I'm still in Atlanta. I'm working out at the Georgia Tech, football team, and in the stadium and everything. But I stopped because I want to do this interview, to make sure that we promote, but that just lets you know how hard I'm training,
Yeah.
how bad I want this, how bad, something, Andrew, that bothers me is a lot of people say this brand don't mean nothing to me. It just feeds my ego and, it's just a vanity project for me to carry this title, but I'm literally the best thing for the brand. Like, who's going to put in the work like I'm putting in the work? Everybody just caught their flight. They're back home. They're eating potato chips at the crib. Trick Williams is working out all day, every day. He does interviews. I'm going to go work out again. That's
Yeah.
that's that's the difference, man.
Brilliant. I mean, Slammiversary, the card is stacked. There's six title matches in total. Well, six titles up for grabs because obviously there's the Knockouts title versus the NXT Women's title. So there's six title matches in total. One's a 14 ladder match. It's a stacked card. To me, it's one of the best lineups of the year so far. And hopefully, I'm sure the pay per view will go down as one of the best of the year. But how about yourself with Santana and Joe Hendry? What can we expect there? Some fireworks, I'd imagine, from three heavy hitting fellas.
Uh, like you said, three heavy hand fellas, three guys who believe that they're righteous, three guys who believe that they're the best thing for the brand, three guys who believe that they should be the one carrying this title. But the truth is, only one man can win. And it doesn't matter who gets pinned, whoever wins, whoever gets the 1, 2, 3, it's the guy walking out with this title. So you never know what's going to happen. I mean, I know what's going to happen because I trained for this type of moment. But as a viewer, as a spectator, this is exactly what you want, man. Like, coming into this day is literally up for grabs, so it seems. So it's a good moment for TNA, and it's our goal to, man, fill the house, man. It's our goal to let everybody walk out of this Slammiversary, feeling like they got the best show possible. We
Yeah.
want to break records.
Well, we had Nic Nemeth, the Nemeths, the brothers came and swung by What Culture Wrestling last month or so. And Nick had some words for yourself. Extremely pissed off that somebody from another company has the TNA World Title. What's your message for
Yeah.
people like Nic Nemeth and those sort of, I don't want to say haters, but those people who think it's wrong, it's not cool, it's not good, man, that you've got that belt around your waist or on your desk as it
They
is there.
definitely hate us. Wait, so he did this on your show?
He did, yeah, man.
So you allowed him the platform to come on here and talk about Trick Williams, and you didn't defend me? You didn't have my back? Where's the honor?
Obviously, I did, man. I feel like we're tight already. That's it. We only met like 10 minutes ago, but I was defending your honor totally. Absolutely. Go
No,
check that
no,
out.
no. I didn't hear nothing about you defending me. I heard everybody talk about how Nic Nemeth is so upset that an outsider who's going to be good one day is carrying this TNA title. Then I heard you laughing. That's I didn't know that was you.
Nah. Blame
And
our
now
video
here you
editor.
are. Now you requesting Trick Williams to come to your podcast. Is that how it works? Is this clickbait? Is this what you want? You just trying to start? You trying to book your own? You trying to book your own views? What you trying to do, Andrew?
Yep. This is where Nick joins the chat in a second. We've got him coming in as a surprise run-in on the interview.
Come
Yeah.
on, man. No, look, I heard what Nick had to say, and trust and believe. I completely understand where he's coming from because as an NXT talent, if somebody came in from TNA and took the world title, the NXT championship, and wasn't even on the roster, I would be upset. I would. That's the honest truth about it. But the reality of the situation is Trick Williams best business, and that's just how how the cookie crumbled this time. But I understand why he's upset. If he wants to do something about it, we can arrange that at the Slammiversary because I will be retained.
Okay, okay. We'll see what happens after Slammiversary, I guess, in that case. But how has it been working with TNA? Because it's basically, what, 3 months since you first appeared there, coming on for 2 months now since you've had that nice piece of gold there. How's it been working with Anthem, with the TNA staff, officials there?
Man, it's been absolutely amazing, man. I do what I want, man. It's literally Trick and A. You know, if I need tickets, I get tickets. My entourage wants to come. We in the building. If I want to fly first class, then they come and get my back. My man, there's a guy named Ross, man. He works with TNA. He's a good guy, man. Like whatever I need, he makes sure that his world champion gets whatever he needs. And that's what you need for your world champ, man. We need to take notes. TNA does it right for the world champs.
Yeah. Well, I mean, talked about TNA World Champions. There's been some absolute legends to have held that belt over the years. I mean, go back to AJ Styles, Sting, Moose had a great run more recently. Yourself, obviously, Josh Alexander, Jeff Jarrett, Kurt Angle, The Machine, Bobby Roode. If there was one TNA World Champion of the past that you could slap around a bit, who are you picking?
Man, honestly, man, I went out there on Tuesday and I made a bold statement and I meant what I said. I said that I am the greatest Trick and A TNA champion of all time. And we were in Atlanta. I'm still in Atlanta. And the crowd chanted AJ Styles. The audacity. AJ Styles. But, I thought about it. Wow, wouldn't that be amazing? You know what I mean? Since the word around town is Trick Williams does not respect this title, which I am defending on 2 different shows, which I am increasing this viewership, which I am doing exactly what I'm supposed to do, which I rightfully claim that I am the best TNA champion of all time. If anybody who they perceive to be someone who actually does honor and respect TNA, it's probably AJ Styles. So why don't we book that? I mean, I think that's the most formidable opponent for someone like myself.
Yeah, so AJ's going to get it at some point. I see. You heard it here first. Just with NXT, obviously somebody back in the fold these days is William Regal. Just as obviously being in Britain here, Regal's just an icon over here, and of the business in general. What's it like to work with Regal on a whether it's daily basis or weekly basis? Just to know that he's there, that learning tree is there to sit under if you want to go and take advantage of it.
Yeah, man, Regal's a GOAT, man. I mean, I've known Regal for a while now. I tried out for the first time back in 2018, 2019. So I've known him for a while. And I remember early in my career, I came to him with a question about, how to carry myself as, a guy on the roster trying to, make my name in this business. And I told him, man, I worked very hard to get into the spot and I feel like I have a chip on my shoulder, dating all the way back from my college football days. I feel like somewhat of an underdog. And William Regal, he looked at me and said, "Underdog? You ain't no underdog." He looked me in the eyes and told me just like that. It was a reality moment. He said, "You 6'4", 245." He said, "You're Muhammad Ali. You ain't no underdog." And ever since then, I feel like I walked with a little bit more oomph. You know what I mean? No, I can't do the British accent. I wish I could. I'm a little too Southern for that, but I really do appreciate that conversation I had with William Regal. I'm not even sure if he remembers it, but that stuck with me. This is probably 3 years ago. So, man, he's a great guy around. He helps out a lot of the talent. If you want to listen, he will talk.
Yeah, just the loveliest dude. I was fortunate enough to host a Comic-Con panel with him a couple of years ago, and it was just like, just spending a couple of hours with him was just like mind-blowing, man. Just such a nice fella. Him and his wife, lovely. Just talking about lizards and stuff. It was crazy. It was a good time. But how's the wider TNA WWE relationship been for you? Because obviously there's a lot of positives for both brands, both companies. Some people might like to throw shade at it because that's what people do because they're weird on the internet these days. But how's that relationship been for you to be somebody in the middle of it, leading the charge of this working relationship?
But I say you just answered it, man. It's been great for me. Yeah, I'm the champ. The funny thing is, if you look at NXT, then you cross over to TNA. The T is right in the middle, and the T stands for Trick. NX Trick, Trick and A, whatever you want to call it. I am the line. Let's talk about it. Business is great.
Nice. I mean, obviously dominated NXT as a 2-time world champion down there. Currently dominating TNA.
Right.
It feels like as well though that Trick Williams, you could easily just drop straight onto Raw or SmackDown tomorrow, and that would fit like a glove. Obviously, you will have main roster aspirations. So, what's the future look like for Trick? Obviously, still as TNA champion, maybe you get that NXT title back, and then you just go and have some fun on Raw and SmackDown as well, just because.
Yeah, for sure, man. I'm keeping my feet where they are, keep my feet planted in the ground. And, right now I am the greatest TNA champion of all time. As much as I want to go to Raw and or SmackDown, you know, I got gold right now, man. And it's it feels good. You know what I mean? Like, why would I want to rush out? Why would I want to leave this, man? I'm the champ, man. And I'm at NXT too. Maybe I challenge over again because I never got my rematch clause. Everybody's getting a rematch at NXT. Even doggone guys from LFG are getting title matches. And guys from Japan, Yoshi, is getting title matches for the NXT Championship. Trick Williams still hasn't gotten his rematch clause. We could talk about that later. But, right now I am an NXT, signee. I am the TNA champion. I'm happy here. You know what I mean? I'll be here as long as I need to. And then once it's time for Raw SmackDown, I'll be ready.
Good stuff. Well, when you keep hold of that title at Slammiversary this Sunday, again available on TNA Plus to order for fans in the UK. When you retain that, who else is on the hit list then? I mean, do you look at some of the kind of TNA OGs? I know obviously you teamed with Frankie Kazarian recently, but does Kazarian get some? Is it Eric Young? I'm thinking of like those guys who are synonymous with TNA. Or do you look at, I don't know, like a Steve Macklin, Matt Cardona? I don't know. There's a whole lot to pick from there.
Man, there's a lot of guys on the roster, man. I mean, Frankie is definitely one of those guys who deserve an opportunity. We all know his tenure. He's been at TNA for a long time. And, like, man, he's had the brand on his back for years. You know what I mean? So if he wants a title shot, I definitely think he deserves it. Eric Young, I call him Eric Old. He ain't been young in 30 years. Let's talk about it. But he's another guy who deserves a title shot. Sammy Callahan. These are some GOATs who've been there for a long time. I respect these guys. I really do. I know it sounds like I'm just braggadocious and I'm speaking down. That's not what it is. I respect these guys. And I think they deserve title matches. But we already hit on the one that I want. AJ Styles. That's the one. You know what I mean? Man, if somebody wants to take the Trick NA, away, I mean, he's the guy who I think people will respect the most because, like I said, I'm the greatest TNA champ of all time. Whoever's going to be that guy has to be that guy. He has to be ready for me.
Yeah. I mean, it is when people think of like the Mount Rushmore question always comes up when people think of TNA, pretty much the first name that everyone says, AJ Styles, AJ Styles, AJ Styles. So maybe that's, yeah.
Yeah, man. Let's book it. You like to book people. So let's book that one. Let's book that one, Andrew. Call you people,
Okay.
man.
Yeah, I'll get on the phone to my guys. Yeah, I'll call Sean, and then we'll get it sorted, man. We'll get it sorted, and Carlos, get it all coming together for an upcoming event, an upcoming pay-per-view, wherever that is. Trick Williams, the greatest TNA World Champion of all time, versus AJ Styles, the greatest TNA World Champion of all time. So yes, we'll see if we can get that one done for you. But a quick last little plug for Slammiversary. Any final thoughts for fans old and new of Trick Williams, whether that's people who've just come along with the ride since you've been in TNA, or those guys who've been with you since riding from the early days? Any final thoughts for that, and any final quick thoughts for Slammiversary this Sunday as well?
Man, I think we done hit it, man. We got 6 title matches on the line, man. We selling out the UBS Arena July 20th, man. Long Island, New York, with the main event being the loud and proud Boricua Mike Santana, the average Joe Hendry, and the one and only Trick freaking Williams, man. Let's talk about it. What more can you want?
Exactly. Head on over to TNA Plus, where again you can either get that as a standalone pay-per-view or as part of the annual subscription there for fans in the UK. Trick, this has been an absolute pleasure, man. You are welcome to pop by anytime that you want. Thanks for giving us some time. Hopefully it goes well for you on Sunday. Definitely not rooting for Joe Hendry or for Mike Santana. Absolutely not. All aboard the Trick train.
Hey, look,
Right.
man, I'm gonna forgive you for trying to, I saw what you tried to do with Nick, man. I ain't gonna forget that.
He went into business for himself, brother. Nothing to do with me. Right. Have a great rest of your day, Trick, and we'll hopefully catch up again at some point down the line.
Yes, sir.